I've been here waiting for you. Here we are, balancing magnification of the seven senses. When life around us is suddenly being magnified through our seven senses, it can feel overwhelming and can definitely take some time to adjust to. However, trust that all aspects of you are equipped with an intelligent design that is orchestrating outcomes for your highest good. Remember that not all senses will be magnified at once. Most times, it's a gradual transition, so our physical bodies can make the necessary adjustments. Also, keep in mind that these periods of magnification level off from sometimes intense and then transitioning to becoming your new normal. It's our intention that the material provided for you will support and bring greater clarity and understanding to make these transitional shifts as easy as possible for all concerned. So let's look at some helpful suggestions that you can begin implementing right now, revolving around each of the seven senses. Number 1, magnification of physical sight. So one of the best ways to balance your magnification of sight is to simply rest your vision. This resting can prevent feelings of being overwhelmingly stimulated, which can then lead to feelings of anxiety. So you can balance your vision by doing some of the following. So if you're feeling overwhelmed visually, simply close your eyes, breathe deep when it's safe to do so, of course. You can also create a calm environment that is visually balanced and less stimulating. Ideally, this space can be your entire living area or maybe a Zen corner where you can relax your visual energy. And you can also engage in meditation where you can focus on one object, like a burning candle, to bring you back into your calm center. When your vision is heightened, avoid busy places like stores, parties, outdoor areas, or anything that could create feelings of visual anxiousness. And finally, take time to connect with nature and go ground to the frequencies of Mother Earth and also the higher frequencies of Source that can support you in this process. Number 2, magnification of taste. So we live in a world that is highly motivated by food. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. We are catered to and marketed to on so many levels. It's difficult to trace the steps it takes to get you, the consumer, to cave into the pressure of the marketing mania revolving around food. So meticulous packaging of products appeals to the eyes, and it seems that some unseen force urges you to place the item into your shopping cart. You get the food item home, cook it up, and not surprisingly, it looks nothing like the way it was displayed on the box that it came in. One bite of the item and your taste buds may send a signal that what you just placed in your mouth was an insult to your high vibrational palate. So do you get the picture? As you shift in consciousness, your relationship with food may change based on the fact that you may gradually begin to taste the chemicals in the food, as mentioned earlier. You may go from processed foods to preferring salads and soups. You may transition from eating meat to no meat at all. The only counsel I have for you regarding this is to trust your taste buds. Be more conscious when eating and commit to eating foods that resonate with your body. There is no room for self-sabotage when it comes to food. Eat with a heart filled with thanksgiving and digest the rest with conscious choices. Number 3, magnification of sound. Our ears are like funnels that filter sound waves through them to be interpreted throughout our body. Sound has the ability to affect our bodies even down to the cellular level. In fact, even our cells make sounds through the respiration of the cell. Sound has the ability to move matter through energy. When your sense of sound is heightened, you may need to adjust the way you expose yourself to sound. So some things you can do to support yourself through this is to pay deeper attention to sound. Pay attention to what sounds cause your irritation. Pay attention to the sounds that create inner peace. Avoid or limit your time in places that have too much sound or a mixture of sounds. You know your tolerance levels more than anyone, so it will be up to you to listen intently to the sounds all around you and to make the necessary adjustments to support you through this shift. As an additional note, some individuals may increase their ability to hear beyond the physical reality and into the spirit realms. This gift is called clairaudience. The sound you hear is not actually a physical sound or physically heard, but intuitively heard. If this is occurring within you, it can be startling and can cause you to feel like you're losing your mind. But be reassured that such is not the case. We'll cover this phenomenon in greater detail later on in this material. So until then, just listen to the part of you that knows deep inner truth. Number 4, magnification of touch. For every magnification surfacing, there comes the opportunity to find balance within it. And the hypersensitivity to touch can also be extreme for some. Even the feeling of certain types of clothing against their skin can be irritating. So if you find yourself being hypersensitive to any form of touch, don't lose heart as you bring into balance this area of your life. There are many ways that you can bring this into balance for this particular sensitivity. Here's a few suggestions. Set boundaries for yourself and honor those boundaries by expressing them to others. So if you prefer not to hug or you have various forms of touch, it's okay to express that to others. Grounding with the earth can also support you with easing the sensitivities of touch. If having your feet in the grass bothers you while grounding, place them in water or touch a tree. Either will support the energies to balance out your sensitivities to touch. You can also balance these hypersensitivities by having an Epsom salt bath to help diffuse the tension within your body. Also, finding things to comfort you while distancing yourself from physical touch can benefit you, like wrapping yourself up in a warm blanket or cuddling a teddy bear. Be reassured that these sensitivities, although they may appear to be physical, are more than likely derived from energetic sensitivities while you are undergoing a transformational shift between your body and your spirit. You may have experienced someone getting within close proximity to you where it felt quite uncomfortable. We all have an energy bubble around us called an aura, and those sensitive to touch are more than likely experiencing some physical and spiritual integrations within themselves. It's not surprising that they intuitively shy away from anything that might interfere with that integration. So keep honoring yourself as you move forward through this magnification of touch, and at the very least, give yourself a hug. You've got this. Number 5, magnification of smell. It's said that we are attracted to others through hormones, subconsciously released from our bodies called pheromones. Many of our decisions in life are based on our sense of smell. If someone smells bad, we tend to distance ourselves from them. If you're looking to purchase a home and there's a cow pasture beside it, you may reconsider. If a certain food smells good, you will more than likely purchase it. The magnification of smell can be a good thing when we tune into it. In one such case involving myself, I was sitting in a restaurant with someone at my table, had ordered fish. The moment the fish was set down on the table, my gag reflex kicked in as I smelled the rotten odor that immediately permeated the area. Surprisingly, I was the only one who could smell it, with the exception of a friend who could faintly smell of the half-baked fish. With my repulsed reaction and verbal insistence, the fish was quickly taken away to be replaced with one that was fresh. Although an unpleasant experience in that particular case, I was thankful that I may have saved someone from food poisoning. So let's briefly mention what actions could help support this shift in your sense of smell. Your sense of smell and taste go together. So the same counsel or suggestions for support is being offered. For instance, if certain household cleaning chemicals bother you, you may need to change your buying habits for a more natural, odorless cleaner. You can also apply the same methods to food or any other choices that you are faced with based on your sense of smell. So when it comes to making good decisions for your new life, follow your nose. Number 6, magnification of your divine mind. We've all experienced intuition. However, most often those keen insights occur in sporadic spurts. For instance, the phone rings and you know who it is before answering. Or you've been thinking of someone for a week and then suddenly you run into them at the grocery store. Also, perhaps you can perceive what someone is thinking before they speak it. These spurts of intuition may come and go depending on what's going on in our lives and also how distracted we may be. There are many examples that we could highlight. However, these are sufficient for what we are conveying at this moment. In sharing information about the divine mind, some may mistake it for the natural or physical mind. For the purpose of this material, we will define the divine mind as the supernatural part of you, where your connection and receptivity to God and Spirit reside. The intuition of the third eye chakra is governed by the divine mind. However, something needs to happen first before the third eye awakens. The spiritual mechanics of how the divine mind works is completely fascinating. Your third eye chakra, located between your brow, is connected to the pineal gland, a small pine cone-shaped gland located deep within the center portion of the brain between the left and right hemispheres. Your pineal gland is said to be about the size of a grain of rice and acts as a spiritual receptor or antennae that is connected to your third eye. Now, as communication and connection with God, Spirit, or Divinity moves through your crown chakra, located at the top of your head, the divine energy activates the pineal gland and awakens the third eye chakra, giving your keen sense of intuition. With this connection, the divine mind is then activated, allowing you to see through the veil of the physical world and into the spiritual world, which is invisible to most. The magnification of the divine mind can open up a whole new world for you on so many levels. You may begin to see things not visible to the naked eye, like auras, energy, spirits, angels, fairies, and things that humans would call mystical or unexplained phenomenon. This magnification can be startling if you don't know what the possibilities are. You may also have increased abilities like extrasensory perception, telepathy, and telekinesis, to name a few. Magnification of the divine mind is part of your awakening process. So again, trust that you are not losing your mind. You are simply gaining a new and improved one. Some things you can do through this process is to stay grounded, meaning stay in your body and connect with the earth. You can also spend time in calming meditation. Get plenty of rest when you can. Also, if this magnification is too much for you at any given moment, you can ask that the energy be dialed back a little bit. Remember, you're not alone in this process of awakening to ascension. You have plenty of support in the spiritual realms, where light beings, guides, angels, and many others are aware of your awakening. If something you don't understand shows up, ask what the purpose of it is. For instance, if you begin to see auras, that's great. But look to expand your spiritual wisdom by asking what the purpose of the experience is for. Is it leading you somewhere? Asking will always expand the divine mind. So don't be shy. Ask and you shall always receive. Finally, number 7, magnification of your divine heart. Everyone knows that feelings of love are associated with the heart space. Your heart puts out electrical messages that communicate and govern the entire body, including the brain. You have a physical heart, however, you also hold the energy of the soul or the divine heart within you. The spark of intelligent light that keeps your body alive is the energy of your divine heart. This divine energy is connected to both your physical DNA as well as your spiritual DNA, communicating and orchestrating the eventual merging of both bodies. The expansion of the divine heart or life force within you holds the intelligence of God and your connection to all that is. As this power center magnifies, your ability to truly feel love without condition increases. It can be a magical place as you see through the current physical limitations of humanity and into the heart of every soul. You know that your divine heart is expanding when you begin to have a feeling of deep connection with everything around you. You feel an emotion of indescribable love for all, and at times it can bring you to tears. At times you may even look at another and see a portion of yourself. Perhaps you have felt these feelings or are beginning to awaken to this portion of you. The illusion of division is fading and the merging of all that you are is beginning. All magnification of your senses are linked to the divine heart and its connection to God, which is infinite, eternal love. This truly is a beautiful path of oneness within you. As the merging of the divine mind and the divine heart connect with the ultimate source of God, it creates a balanced union and reconciliation of communication and communion. Through this gradual shift, all things once separated become one with God. Some ways that you can support the magnification of your divine heart are the following. Number 1, practice showing compassion and empathy for all, individually and collectively, including yourself. Compassion and empathy have the ability to see the highest possibilities or outcomes for every soul as you support through love and understanding. Number 2, ask for divine support as you seek ways of experiencing life in a way that the divine love of God would see it. Often through the human heart we are limited, yet through the divine heart we can begin to experience the path of true, unadulterated love. Empty your cup of human opinions or judgments and let the influence of divinity fill it with clarity, compassion, and love for all. Number 3, open your heart to forgiveness for self and others, understanding that each soul has its sacred journey to ascend to the divine consciousness of God. All is in divine timing, order, and purpose. Every experience is designed to bring every soul closer to the truth within, unveiling a period of spiritual forgetfulness. This is why the one of the divine masters named Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Number 4, live with the intention of healing yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically through the 7 beautiful senses that you have been given. Trust that as you do so, your awakening to ascension will unfold in divine design. Set clear intentions for living a beautiful life filled with beautiful opportunities, consciously seeing the world coming together as one heart beating in harmony and unison. Number 5, gather with like-hearted individuals for support and learning. At times when you are awakening these parts of yourself, you can feel even more isolated as you move further and further away from the conditioning of the world that you've been living for most of your life. The gathering of like-hearted individuals creates an energy of oneness and connection. Number 6, practice seeing and feeling beyond the illusions of this world. See all is healed and whole. All is one. All is love. Remember that we have forgotten who we are, and in that forgetfulness, we have been wrapped up in our roles and titles. We are all love working on remembering itself through every experience presented to us. See the world in perfection and all humans awakening to their eventual ascension. I will see you in the next indicator, which will be in the next video. Thank you.